Gamers, I've decided to study in the most impractical way possible. I hope you know that and can appreciate it. Hi, wake up. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome, 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 welcome. Hey, Ashley, before you say anything, stop. 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 Here's my hands. Stop. Anyway, wake up. Look, listen, today's a long day. I'm surprised that I was even able to like stream and do whatever, even if it's the most impractical way. I really wanted to like abuse this app that I really love and adore, and though I didn't really test it out for an actual study stream, I thought today's content that I wanted to review was probably something more beneficial that I could politely regurgitate, hopefully. I hope you guys have been doing super well. I can throw hands. I do have hands. I've always had hands. It's really cool, except I'm at a slight angle, so if I go straight, it doesn't quite catch it. I have to angle it with the same pose that I'm in to like look like I'm going front, but that's not where my webcam is, and it's basically where I am. And plus, I picked the best teacher pose. Look at this. Default. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing super well. Let me give my thanks. Let me say my hellos. We'll talk about what we're doing because today's stream is gonna be a little bit shorter. I could probably try to stream till 7 if I was really pushing it. But I was trying to see if I could get them by 6:30 for some doodaween. So, my hellos and thank yous. Ashley, hi. Welcome. Oh my goodness. Oh no, this noise. Oh no. Anyway, thank you so very much for the tier 1 sub for 36 whole headgame months. Tipanya, jump scare? You're so right. You're so right. I really didn't expect to be streaming. Turns out when I went to the office today, I was the only one in the office. And then they gave me something like, they gave me a long gap. They're like, oh yeah, you're done at 11:30. Actually, no, we have something for you at 3. So, and it may not even happen, but you'll have to wait it out. And I'm like, what? So it was like 3:15, nothing happened. I'm like, I'm leaving, goodbye. So I rushed home, so now I'm able to study a little bit, but then I had back-to-back with tutoring at 6:30 to 8, and then my professor was having some technical difficulties, so then he changed it for today, and yeah, it's just a lot. So let's see what we can get done. And hi, welcome. Oh my goodness, I wish I could wave. I can't. It's not working. Thank you so very much for the tier 2. Count it 2. And tier 2 sub. Thank you for the 6 whole hickey months. I appreciate your continued support as a sugar bear. Thank you. Alright, now I can say my hellos. Let's go. Hi Rama, hi. Welcome. Let's go. Let's go. Hi Julie, hi. Welcome as well. Welcome. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna throw out shout outs really quick, okay? Julie and SG, and I see Nelly as well. Hold on. I think it's the Star Poker earlier. Let's go. Alright. Da-dang. Oh, welcome. Yeah, definitely wasn't expecting a stream. Hi, Sapalai. Hi. Welcome as well. Tipanya T Strutty stream? Yes. All the T's, the triple T's. I'm a triple threat. Da-da! Hi, Lloyd. Hi. Welcome. Time to go to the library to work out, brother. I cannot. This is all I've been doing. This is the only workout I've been doing. I'm like, oh, please, a break from all this, please. But I can't. Oh my goodness, hi, welcome. Hi, welcome. Oh, welcome. Hey, Tipanya study streaming least expected. It is, and again, I formally apologize. Hi, Pata. Hi, welcome as well. Welcome, and hi, Nelly. Hi, official hello. Welcome, Gemini. Hi, welcome as well. Welcome. Oh my goodness, Karma, hi, welcome as well. Hold a minute, you're cheating on your schedule? I'm not cheating on my schedule. I said there may be an evening stream. Now it's 4 p.m. in the afternoon, an evening stream? No, but I kind of forgot I had tutoring today. So afternoon, whatever. If I don't have a sense of time, does it really matter? Anyway. Oh my goodness, but hi, welcome. Well, it says Tipanya could draw hands now. Beware, I can. And once I get the power of this and become in a more well-lit room, it's over for you cubs. These 2 fists right here. Oh my goodness, hi Caleb, hi Caleb, hi, welcome. Chicken point, I can. I only have 1 finger up, so I can look very smart, okay? Is it working? Oh, wow, she looks so knowledgeable. Oh my goodness. Hi Starfucker, hi, officially, hi, welcome. Bear cubs have meaty paws? My self-esteem is going down the drains after you keep saying stuff like that. How can she hand? Okay, so this is the program I was using and playing around with a little bit yesterday called Warudo, and it's really fun and it's really cute, and I highly recommend if you have a 3D model of your own to mess around with it, because they kind of stick you into a pose, and you can have hand tracking with the webcam, which has been implemented in other places before. But I like that if I'm not doing anything, I can get stuck into a default pose, which apparently, according to SG, will not be good for me. But hey, that's a problem for later me, you know? The lighting of everything makes me think this is an after-school extra class. You know, this is the, like, I really like the classroom background here. Let me do it a little bit of justice. It is more 3D than you probably anticipated, right? But it's very pretty. It's just very yellow. And don't get me wrong, I mean, it wouldn't be an empty classroom in the middle of the day. But I will figure out the how do you call it, the lighting stuff later for this one. This one was a little bit more how do you say it, last minute. I literally just set this up like 5 minutes before 4 o'clock. So if I had a little bit more time, I Pinky Bear promise you I'll try to get it in a slightly nicer lighting. But yeah. Hi Cloud, hi, welcome. I will do my best to get my best grades, because I actually got to meet with my professor later today, or earlier today, English, and oh my goodness, my eye. Oh, I can't do anything wacky with that. Oh. Oh. Oh no, a flaw. Anyway, He's like, yeah, Tip, if you fail this practical doing it the second time around, we're just gonna keep you in the class. Like, you'll just fail. And I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna pass. I got this. But yeah, about to answer your question, what inspired me to get into this video? I just wanted to play around with the app a little bit more, even if it was 5 minutes extra. I think this is such a cute way to, like, you know, experience Dweem. And if I wasn't stuck in this pose and I turn on my light, maybe I get better tracking. But hey, beggars cannot be choosers. I'm happy to be here with my long finger. Da-dang! Huh? Triple draw? Exactly! Inhalation of air? Exactly! Hold on. Thank you for the inhalation of air, redeem. Hi, Mr. Granzel. Hey, hi, welcome. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Welcome. Let's go get educated. Yeah, let's start talking in a little bit. Hi, K-Dog. Hi, welcome as well. Welcome. If you can move your hand so you can point to the parts of the elbow and wrist you're talking about. Yes! That's also another thing that I'm actually really excited about. Now, will it be covered? Maybe, but we'll figure it out when we get there. Okay. Okay, Erica, let's go ahead and do this and get started. Because even though I love chit chatting, I am planning to see if we can end around 2 hours. Okay. All right. So unfortunately, I can't layer my game capture right behind me. Maybe I could, maybe I couldn't. But I'm not too well versed in the program that I just downloaded yesterday. So da-dang. You beat your Nuzlocke today? Oh, Starbucker! Belated congratulations! Can I clap? Let's see. Oh no, I cannot clap for you. That thought is there. I am clapping for you. Yay, it's there, but it's not. Oh no. But congratulations on your Nuzlocke. Congratulations. Almost there. It's like my neurons, the brain. Okay, hands, touch. Gosh darn it. Anyway, let me pop up the thing I had. So I apologize. This is not the prettiest thing, Cubs, you've probably seen, but it's fine, right? It's fine for the time being. So today, what we're going to be learning from the title. We're going to be learning about some elbow and wrist pathologies. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get through the wrists, because apparently there are 40, like it's like 20 elbow, 20 wrists, so there's about 40 pathologies. I don't think I'm going to get through, quite there, but we'll do our best, okay? Let's talk about some really common conditions of the shoulder, things that I might get on this practical so I make sure I don't fail it, and some things that maybe you're experiencing where you're like, whoa, I didn't know I had that. And I'm not saying to go diagnose yourself, but if you're experiencing any of these following signs, then maybe you want to get tested. Anyway, so our first condition that we have for our elbow is called lateral epicondylitis. This is also known as tennis elbow, so people who play tennis a lot tend to get this condition. And remember, the itis in the back of the word is referring to some kind of inflammation, so this is pretty much just an inflammation on the lateral epicondyle, and it's kind of like, Tippa, where the hecky is that? So here, do me a favor. So when you're touching your elbow, you know, oh, the pointy part, right? Now I want you to use 3 fingers. So let your middle finger rest on the pointy part. Let your what do you call it? Your ring finger touch bony prominence. Like if you run your fingers off your elbow, quotation marks, and you feel a bumpy prominence, go from there and then do the same thing on the other side. Now the bony prominence that you're feeling on your thumb side, or the most lateral side, or the side most outward to you, that is where your lateral epicondyle is. And what happens is that this inflammation is referring to the tendons that are attaching there. So lateral epicondylitis is going to be reference to the tendinopathy of wrist extensors. So anytime you extend your wrist, and think about tennis players, of how they serve and how they swing back and all that, they use a lot of their wrist extensors, and that's being inflamed because of that overuse. There's several muscles involved with lateral epicondylitis. We could talk our brachialis, and that is going to be the muscle that's going to help us, let's see, that's gonna be a great elbow flexor that's gonna help us when we're kind of doing like a nya. When we're trying to bring our arms up. So let's see, can I do it? Like this, but your palms have to be down like this for the brachialis. If you do it thumbs up, it's brachioradialis, and if you do it palms up like bicep curls, you're gonna be working more of your biceps. Da-da! Other muscles are gonna be your ECRL and B. This is in reference to the extensor carpi radialis longus and brevis. Your brevis is the one that's going to be most affected. This is muscles that also attach to the lateral epicondyle. There's something called the common extensor tendon that's on your lateral epicondyle, where all these muscles are going to originate, and they insert into different places. So your longus is going to insert to your, let's see, your pointer finger right here. Kind of. And then your brevis is going to be on your third finger right over here. So longus, brevis. Don't worry about the thumb. The thumb has its own set of muscles that we're not going to get into right now, okay? Other muscles that are affected are the ECU, which is the extensor carpi ulnaris. You also have ED, which is extensor digitorum, and you have EDM, which is extensor digiti minimi. What are those, Tippa? So ECU refers to the extensor carpi ulnaris. So what happens with this is that this is a muscle located on your pinky side, coming off the same lateral epicondyle that we were talking about earlier, and it helps with, well, extending the carpi, extending the wrist on the pinky side, hence ulnaris, referring to the ulna bone, and it can also help with ulnar deviation. So ulnar deviation is, let's see, you see how my hand is kind of, ignore my fingers, but you see how my hand is turning towards my pinky? That's radial deviation. Wait, ulnar deviation? I'm doing the other side. Ta-da! Going towards my thumb is going to be radial deviation. And that's what the extensor carpi radialis, longus, and brevis can also do. Yes, deviation is the term, or the anatomical medical term, for that kind of motion. I'm not yeah. Don't get it confused for like deviance or something. Alright, extensor digitorum. It sounds very, how do you call it? Complicated, but it's just the one that extends your fingers. Ta-da! Whoa! So I have them flex, extend, flex, extend. Extensor digitorum extends the digits, or extends the fingers. And then EDM, extensor digiti minimi, is for the mini muscle, the pinky. So that's going to help us from flexion to extension. So, ta-da! Alright, so how the hecky can we get this lateral epicondylitis? That's definitely how we're saying it now. So a lot of the time, it can be work-related with a wrist extension. So someone who does, I can't necessarily think of people at the moment. I'll read down the list. But a lot of people who extend their wrist. Again, because of the tendinopathy, it's gonna be an overuse injury. Again, those tendons are inflamed, they're on fire. You can also get this from lifting heavy objects. Smokers tend to be what do you call it, prone to it. Manual workers, tennis players, hence again the nickname of this condition being tennis elbow, and people who are middle-aged, 35 to 54 years old, can also be at high risk of getting this. Streamers, you know, honestly, maybe we'll actually talk about some conditions that are like not exclusive, but a high risk of it can be from just doing a typewriting job, or maybe I guess us gamers being on the computer for like 8 hours or more. So, what are some symptoms of lateral epicondylitis? Oh my goodness. So let's talk about it. Sorry, again, it has to be in this format, but you'll forgive me, right? Anyway, so what's gonna happen is that you know if you have this condition, if you have pain with the lateral epicondyle. So remember when I asked you that, hey, can you touch or palpate that area on the thumb side of your elbow and you feel that bony prominence? If you have pain with touching, not looking too good, my dude. You also may have some pain with gripping. So again, also think of what do you call it? The tennis players who grip onto the racket and they do the wrist extension. That's basically a, what do you call it, a formula for disaster. Why are they gonna have pain with gripping? So what happens is that there's a really cool thing with the body. Doing the opposite action of a muscle will stretch it. So when you're gripping, we're flexing. You see? I'm flexing my fingers. Maybe I can flex my wrists a little bit when I'm gripping something. And what's gonna happen is that that's gonna put all my extensor muscles into a stretch. So that can also cause me some pain if I'm trying to grab onto something. I'm not too well versed with the noises and whatnot, but to my understanding from what my professor had told me before, maybe someone will come in with like a history of clicking, a loss of control, a difficulty pushing up with their forearms supinated, so having difficulty just with push-ups, and supinated is, wait, huh? Supinated, oh, ignore my hands being like a little alien from space, but you're I refuse to do it. Supination is with your palms up, so that's a little weird, huh? I'll probably have to ask about that. But basically, you're gonna have pain with activities like gripping and wrist extension, and you're most likely, it's possible, but most likely gonna have some kind of swelling near the part of the elbow, you know? Huh? I will tell you more about your future condition. I just have to speed run this one. But you do home workout? Oh no, you're so good! Enjoy your home workout! Please, work out. Enjoy your health and your youth and your body as I suffer away and study! Enjoy! Anyway. So how can we like be sure that we have lateral epicondylitis? Yeah. So what happens is that we could do some active range of motion, or AROM. And AROM is going to be pain with wrist extension. So literally... wrist here, wrist extend. It hurts. We can also do passive range of motion with some of the radial ulna or radial humeral or humeral ulnar glides. So basically, just anything messing with the elbow may affect it and cause some pain. Hi, Runs. Hi. Welcome. We could do some passive range of motion classical. So basically, it means that if we passively move the person, like they don't actively do this, we just grab our hands over, and what we're gonna do is that we're just gonna be like, okay, nice and gentle, grab, and let me just flex your wrist, and all they have to do is a little cat. And that is also possibly gonna cause some pain. You know, hi, welcome. Here, give me one moment, let me give you a whole shout out. One moment. Ta-da! Welcome. Alright, some MSTT, so muscle selective tension testing, is like basically testing the strength of your muscle. It's similar to MMT, which we'll talk about in a little bit later. But MSTT, what's gonna happen is that you're gonna get the person's hand, yeah? You're gonna get your other hand, 2 fingers, and you're just gonna ask them to extend their wrist. Oh, can I get it? Kind of. Anyway, you're applying pressure with those 2 fingers on top of the wrist while it tries to do wrist extension. And again, it's a baby amount. It's only 2 fingers, but if it's strong, but it's also painful, like they have enough strength to do it, but they're hurting with the 2 fingers, then that also might be indicative of some kind of a tendinopathy, or again, that inflammation of that tendon. MMT is a little bit more extreme, where you're not using 2 fingers. You're going to try to break their form as much as you can. And we could be doing MMT on the ECRB, the extensor carpi radialis brevis. And it might show that they have just weak wrist extension. So, there's a whole grading scale, but we probably won't get into that. But yeah, no problem, no problem. Alright. Special tests. So we have 2, count it, 2 special tests that we have. And the 2 special tests is that the first one is going to be your Cozen's test. So Cozen almost looks like the word cozy, but it's not really that cozy. For this test, you want to do some kind of a contraction of the muscles on that lateral epicondyle. So what you're going to do is it's a little bit hard to show on this. I think literally you just rest the arm on the table and you'd apply a pressure down the wrist. No, it's not gonna get it. Ah! But basically, that should tense up your extensor muscles. And again, if you're having pain with that, you might have, again, this condition. What else you can do is also mills, which is something very similar. But this one's like a stretch, so it's like the same procedure, but your elbow's extended, and ta-da! If you're having pain with that, then you have a positive Mills test. From there, you could do palpation for touch, and you could touch the lateral epicondyle, and you could also touch the base of the second and third metatarsals. So our hand is labeled as so. So our thumb is going to be our first, our index is our second, our middle finger is our third, our fourth finger, well, our ring finger is our fourth, and our fifth, our pinky, is going to be our fifth digit. So it's saying to touch the base, or like the knuckle of the second and third. You can also do some radial nerve glides for neurovascular testing, I believe. And this is something that what you would do is you would depress the shoulder, extend the elbow, put the shoulder in internal rotation. Oh goodness. Forearm pronation. Oh my god, there's so many steps. So many steps. That's cutting you off. Forearm pronation, ring finger flexion, shoulder abduction. That's a video. That's something I can't show you. That's something that someone does with you. But that's something I'll definitely refer back to in a little bit then. But yeah, let's move on to our next condition, okay? So, if we have lateral, guess what? That means we must have like some kind of opposite. Then we're gonna have medial epicondylitis. So that's gonna be a tendinopathy of the wrist flexors. So not the extenders, the wrist flexors. So again, doing that like nya kind of motion with your wrist is considered wrist flexors. This is going to be something also called as the golfer's elbow. So our lateral epicondylitis is going to be referred to as tennis. The medial is going to be referred to as golfer's elbow. And what's going to happen is on that medial epicondyle, again at the elbow on the medial side or on the pinky side, you're going to have a bunch of muscles connect, correct? You're going to have the pronator teres, you're going to have the flexor carpi radialis, you're going to have the palmaris longus, flexor carpi ulnaris, flexor digitorum superficialis, and flexor digitorum profundus. All these in some way are going to help with wrist extension or finger extension, okay? So what can happen? What is the mechanism of injury? So a lot of people who may have this tendinopathy of the wrist flexors are overhead throwing athletes. So think of like your baseball players. You can also think of tennis players, bowlers, weightlifting, football, carpenters, plumbing, meat cutting jobs. You're pretty high risk if you're middle age, so 35 plus. And again, it's repetitive use. You can also get this traumatically, I suppose, by a fouche injury. So fouche is a mnemonic and also a really cool sound effect of falling on outstretched arms. So basically what would happen is that your arm... No! Goodbye arm. But basically you're just trying to catch yourself and you stretch out your arms, you extend your elbows, try to catch yourself with your hands, and it just whoosh! You might fracture something. And an excessive valgus load, so excessive load coming from the lateral side or outside of your body towards you, is also going to probably cause a tendinopathy of the wrist flexors. So how do I know I have this? So you have pain on the epicondyle, so if you touch it, you're like, oh, on this elbow side, I'm like, this hurts. May have it. It's a gradual onset, and then you might have pain with flexion and pronation. And let's see. I don't know what they mean. Sorry, this is not my notes. I don't know what they mean by DDPTS. Rule out by palpation for tenderness / MMT of the flexor carpi radialis. Let's see. Sensation issues. Alright, that's also a note mentally, and we'll go look at that later. But yeah, no problem, Cloud. Thank you for joining. Please have a good one. Have a good night. Bye bye. My wave. So how can we what do you call it? So how do we determine that we have medial epicondylitis? So what's gonna happen is that you may have a palpation for condition. So you might have warmth and swelling over the medial elbow. Active range of motion, so the wrist flexion decreases, so you're not able to do your like cat girl, cat boy, yeah. Passive range of motion, the wrist extensor, you may have pain with that because again, even though we're talking about all these like wrist flexors, you're putting that muscle on stretch, or the flexor muscles on stretch when you do wrist extension, so thinking like you're revving up a motorcycle. Some MSTTs, again, it's just testing wrist flexors throughout the board, so we'll test the strength through MSTT. MLT, we could stretch it, and MMT, again, testing the strength, again, manual muscle testing. And palpation for tenderness, we could do the pronator teres, so that's the muscle that helps us pronate, so bowl of soup, and then soup down, we dump the bowl of soup. And flexor carpi radialis, so if we touch there and they're having some pain, might be indicative that they have some kind of golfer's elbow. Alright, so that's 2 whole conditions, holy heck. So I want to give you a vague idea. Oh, this is still okay to read, right? Okay, perfect. Let's see. My goal, and it might be hard, is that I would like to at least get to 40. That is my goal, okay? Get to 40, and right now we're on 24, so let's try to see if we could politely speedrun some of this, okay? Huh? Like a Professor Tipanya or a PowerPoint slide like the school days? I wish! I should have done it as a school PowerPoint, right? Hi Biku, hi, welcome. Definitely just a random PDF, just want to put that out there, okay? Oh, okay. So, bicep tendinosis. So, tendinosis, similar to the itis that we're talking about, tendinosis is going to be referring to the inflammation of the tendon, and in this case, it's going to be your bicep tendon. So, what's going to happen here is that I'm not sure if you guys are familiar. Let's see. Bicep insertion. We could do a PowerPoint presentation once with USB drive, but classmates saw a sus gambling folder. What is a sus gambling folder? Just asking for a friend. What do you have in there? Alright. Bicep. Oh my goodness. So your bicep, what's gonna happen is, let's use tip along as my cursor. Bicep, remember, has the word bi, and we know bi is 2, and that means it has 2 different origins. But where it, how do you say it? Even though it has 2 different origins, it's actually gonna just have 1 insertion, and that 1 insertion's right here, past the elbow. But because it's still around the area of the elbow, it's gonna count into elbow conditions, hence our bicep tendinosis. Same with the tricep, by the way, so I don't have to grab a picture. Our tricep, again, will have 3 heads, and it's gonna connect back towards our elbow as well, okay? Right? So for bicep tendinosis is going to have a similar mechanism of injury. So it's going to be due to overuse of flexion and supination, which makes sense because that's what our that's what our biceps can do. Our bicep is heavily focused on flexion of the elbow, kind of, and supination. So that's what's going to happen here again, is that bowl of soup, you're going to have your palm turned upward like this. Maybe not like this, but like this. Hi Zolik, hi, welcome. I arrived just in time. I arrived just in time for stuff relevant to me. You did! We're learning about all the tendinosis, but we already talked about the, how do you call it? Medial lateral epicondylitis. With that, I will also get some water. I wonder how much this will freak out, so I apologize if it does freak out a lot. Let's see. I filled up my water. Sorry. I filled up my water at work because it has like the fountains, which I think are super neat. But gosh darn it, is it so heavy? I filled it right before I left work, so I'm kind of like, yeah, I know I'm supposed to follow time to drink this much water, but I'm like, your girl is dehydrated. So one moment. Sorry, my water bottle's really gigantic. It's a gallon. Alright. So it makes sense that that's an overuse injury with those two actions for bicep tendinosis. Overhead throwing and contact sports, again, also going to be big players of possible mechanisms of injury. And bicep tendinosis could just be secondary to a labor or rotator cuff tear. So, womp womp. So, how do I know I have bicep tendinosis? So you may have pain in the anterior medial elbow or shoulder. Younger people tend to get this. They don't really define what younger means, but definitely probably less than the age of 35. Gradual onset can occur because, again, overuse, and maybe just pain in the bicipital grooves, wherever your bicep tendon is in that little, what they would refer to informally as the armpit of the elbow. So how can I determine that I have it? So bicep tendinosis, you might have inflammation in the bicipital groove. Elbow flexion and shoulder flexion may hurt. Elbow extension and shoulder extension may hurt. You can definitely do your muscle testings and stretching for bicep. So for stretching the bicep, again, you just perform in its opposite action, so you do extension. You can do some palpation for tenderness in the radial tuberosity or bicipital groove. And you could do some special tests called the Jagerson. So, excuse me. Let's see, can we get a video for this one?
In this video, I'm going to
in this video, let's see. I have my I forgot I messed with all the layers, so give me one moment. Alright. So another way we could do, again, is all the special tests to potentially determine bicep pathology. This can also be really good for detecting a slap lesion as well, which is going to be a lesion like more on the top of the ball and socket joint in that area. So let's
show
see.
you how to perform the Jurgensen's test for pathology of the long biceps tendon as well as slap lesions. To perform.
Sorry, I'm glad I skipped. Their intro is so obnoxiously loud. Don't get me wrong, I'm very grateful, but gosh darn it. Anyway.
On the test, have your patient's forearm flexed to 90 degrees in full pronation and stabilized against the body.
Okay.
Then ask your patient to perform supination and resist the movement. At the same time, make sure that you palpate the biceps tendon in the bicipital groove.
That's it. That's literally it. So again, what you're gonna have them do is that you're gonna have them
in the bicipital groove.
You're gonna have your finger again in the bicipital groove. You see how he tenses up?
That you palpate the biceps tendon in the bicipital groove.
The bicipital groove right up here. Palpate right here. You can see it tense up as he's trying to do supination, which again is that palm up to the sky kind of position. And yeah. What? But please remind me what's negative.
If you feel the biceps tendon popping out of the groove, this indicates a tear of the transverse humeral ligament.
Oh.
Tenderness or pain without the pop is indicative for biceps tendinosis or slap lesions.
Okay, so what did it say? So with pain, it's indicative of a tear, but if it's, what do you call it? If it's without the popping, tenderness and pain, it's gonna be a bicep tendinosis or slap lesion, and that's something we'll have to do further testing. It doesn't have to just be special tests to determine. So thank you, physio tutors. I appreciate it. Alright, let's get back into it, okay? So that's for bicep tendinosis. So tricep tendinosis, pretty similar again, but it's not bicep, it's triceps. And tricep again is going to refer to the 3 heads that you have in the back of your arm right above your elbow. But again, because of its insertion point by the elbow or past the elbow, that's why it's going to be grouped into here. So what's going to happen is that mechanism of injury tends to be a sudden contraction during eccentric loading. Weightlifters can definitely be at risk, and putting down heavy objects, maybe just boop. You're definitely going to have some pain in the posterior elbow. Definitely going to be something that the oh no, sorry, definitely something that younger folks will get. And yeah. Kali, hi, welcome. Hi. It is me, conveniently. Welcome. We're just talking about conditions. I'm politely regurgitating this chart. Bleh. Right. Pain in the posterior shoulder, so in the back, or elbow, sorry. Younger, gradual onset because, again, it is an inflammation, so it's going to be overused. And repetitive use, sudden or severe, can also occur. So again, even though it's an overuse injury, it can be sudden, like again, maybe you put something down really heavy and it's just way too heavy and you let your body go and it's like, oh, there you go. Well, model, kind of. I'm definitely cheating the system a little bit. Tipa teaching finally useful technology. Let's go! I want to say hi. Welcome as well. Welcome. Oh my goodness. I'm here to learn as usual. Let's go! Alright. We'll skip through. We'll get through the good stuff. I'm gonna try to skip through some stuff that I'm like, oh yeah, he's never gonna ask that. If he asks that, I'm gonna kick his butt. Anyway, for tricep tendinopathy, let's look at the testing and then we'll kind of skip through this next one I see because I've never seen this in my life. Alright, passive PFC, so palpation per condition. So again, palpating the back of the elbow and being like, yep, this hurts. Active range of motion is you ask the person, oh no, sorry. This zoom in thing is killing me, but I am also like, oh, I want you to also read the text too. Anyway, if you ask the person to extend their elbows, so let's say we're flexed, maybe our arms are resting on the armrest. Now slide your elbow off and extend your arm. If you extend your arm, you might have pain with that. Might be indicative of, again, tricep tendinosis. Passive range of motion, again, we could indirectly stretch the muscle and we can put them into elbow flexion or shoulder flexion and they may feel some pain. Testing again with the elbow and shoulder extension, the strength. We could test out the triceps. We could stretch out the triceps. And really just palpation for condition. We could touch on that olecranon. And remember, our olecranon is going to be our elbow. You know that pointy piece that we're always like, I'm going to stab you with my elbow. I don't know who you tell that to, but hopefully not me. That's going to be your olecranon bone or the elbow bone. Right? So these next two are kind of wacky. I've never seen myositis. Ossificans? Oh, I don't know. There's an accent trying to say that, but we'll read it out. How about that? Just to say that we talked about it, okay? Anyway, so this is going to be a bone formation in inflamed muscles. So this is going to develop in movements close. Oh, our muscles? No. What did they want? Close to the peristeum, typically brachialis. Interesting. Hi, Simple. Hi. Welcome. Huh? Ossificants? Ah, yes. Thicans of the Aussie variety. Yeah, it's definitely some muscle bone thing, which I guess makes sense because the condition is literally saying bone formation in inflamed muscle. Gosh darn it. I'm learning Latin. This is the first time I heard you talk. I feel like I talk quite often. But I know, I understand. I feel like you catch me a lot during not in between Pomodoro sessions. Because even with the other stuff, even with the regular study streams that I do with the timer and everything, I do talk within the 15 minutes. I promise. But welcome. Hello, button voice. Alright, so how does myositis ossificans happen? So maybe some type of mechanism of injury can be idiopathic. So idiopathic sounds kind of wacky, right? But it's just a funky word saying that, hey, we don't know how this happened. It could just have a random onset. This can also maybe occur due to some muscular skeletal trauma, whatever that means. It burns, could be a genetic disorder, or maybe you have a spinal cord injury, which again, don't ask me the relationship to these. These are more like, I don't know, I wouldn't say risk factors. They're definitely mechanisms of injuries, but more likely to develop, basically. Huh? It's true? Tippa talks from time to time? I do. I promise. I promise. Alright, so what's gonna happen if we have a bone in our muscle? So maybe you're gonna have some pain over that muscle. It's gonna be warm or hot to the touch, maybe because it's a little bit inflamed, because the muscle is inflamed, according to the description of this condition. You're gonna find that there's a lump over the muscle that should not be there. You know, like when you eat food and you eat rice and you bite into a hard bit, and you're like, ah, disgusting. That's basically it. And because there's definitely a bone where it shouldn't be, you might have some limited movement with the muscle involved. We can do some things to test it. We can do palpation for conditions, so we can kind of touch over where they're feeling and be like, is there a bump here? We could do some active range of motion and passive range of motion, so we can actively do it, or we could passively move the person into flexion and extension, and they might be limited in both. We could try to stretch it, but we'll notice there's a severe decreased length in the muscle. And we could do MMT, which is going to be a decreased strength of the muscle, so definitely not as strong as it should be. Strong, by the way, is a grade of 3+, which means that it would be going against gravity, so da-da, da-da! Idiopathic is basically LMAO, who knows? And I think we should use the latter treatment. I want to say it every time, I'm like, idiopathic onset. I'm sorry, I really don't know. Impossible, we can test this. Here, give me your arm. No thank you, no thank you, no thank you. My arm is fixated in this position. Again, do I look so smart? Teehee, teehee. Anyway. I read it wrong at first. I'm like, huh? Alright, another impairment we could have is not necessarily like any of the ones we talked about. So this impairment is hypomobility due to prolonged immobilization. Lots of words, but basically it means that you cannot move as much as you are able to because you maybe been immobilized. Think of the people who are in a cast. Think of people who lay on their arm and their arm falls asleep and it's just like, my arm wasn't moving and I can't really move it and it's tingling and it's painful, blah blah blah, blah. Yeah. That's this person's lifestyle. So basically, it's decreased range of motion after long bouts about being immobile, so possibly after surgery. Again, doesn't have to be a cast, by the way, it can also be a sling, just any kind of way that your arm just cannot move. Definitely mechanism of injury, post-op, so post-operation, immobilization, or even a sedentary lifestyle, like maybe you just have your arms on your armrest, never typing. Maybe maybe your mouse is on your armrest as well, and you're just never moving, and now it's like, wow, my elbow, I could barely move it. It doesn't have as much motion as it used to. Yeah, because unfortunately there's this thing called Wolff's Law, and it's the idea of use it or lose it, basically. So rip to all our bedbound patients and whatnot, and that's why we always encourage some kind of movement, not only because of some pressure injuries that occur, but also just motion is lotion for the body. Da-dang! Bearcat's right arm displays 0 range of motion. Exactly. I'm basically immobilized. I'm in the cast. Oh, there goes my fingers. Yay, they're normal again. Ah, the nice stretch of arm. Great. Love that for me. Anyway, so as you imagine, if you're in a cast for a very long time, you're going to have stiffness and then decreased muscle and atrophy. And basically how you're going to find that out is that if you actively or passively try to move them, you'll notice decreased range of motion, and you might just have a type capsule or decreased mobilization when trying to do any kind of like glides or mobilization on the patient, trying to move bone on bone, or yeah. I didn't want to scare anyone saying bone on bone, but it literally is just moving and doing the articulation bone to bone. Hi Jane, by the way. Hi, welcome. Alright, so let us talk about something that is definitely more applicable. So let's talk about ulnar nerve entrapment or cubital tunnel syndrome. So you guys have heard about like hitting your funny bone, right? Yeah, like you hit your elbow and you're like, oh, it's tingling. Yeah, so that means that you probably hit your ulnar nerve and you're having this really funny sensation. That That's what it is, funny bone. It can also be called cell phone syndrome. So think about the people who put their cell phone to their ears and they're like, mushy mush, oh, that's not my ear. Mushy mush. And then people who keep it there for a prolonged period of time, they're keeping that elbow flexed, and that can also cause some compression. This nerve is gonna run behind the medial epicondyle. So again, get your 3 fingers out, get your pointer, middle, and ring. Let your middle finger touch the, how do you call it? The elbow, the pointy part of your arm, and then have the have the ring finger and the pointer finger go off from the pointy part and rub onto that bony prominence. So the bony prominence that you feel towards your thumb side or on the thumb side, not the pinky side, is going to be referred to as your medial epicondyle. And what happens is that this ulnar nerve is going to travel through there. And this is also going to be located between the 2 heads of the flexor carpi ulnaris. And again, sounds scary, but it's just flexor, flexing, carpi, wrist, ulnaris. So it's just a wrist flexor of the, on the ulnar side. This muscle can also help with ulnar deviation. So let me get this hand. Ta-da. You see me waving? Hi. Me going that way, or what do you call it? Doing the deviation towards the pinky, again, is referred to as ulnar deviation, and that's what the flexor carpi ulnaris muscle is going to do. Hi, sir. Oh, Otis? Hi, Otis. Hi. Welcome. Flexor, just like me, for real? Hi, welcome to the Cup Club chat. Welcome. We're just talking about various conditions, so don't mind me. Serial experiments late? Anyway. So how can this happen? So how the heck can we heck up our funny bone? So what's gonna happen is trauma, and not just the emotional kind, the physical. So maybe you fractured it when you fell, maybe dislocated, or maybe have a subluxation, like a slip. That'll give stress to the area. So again, force is coming from the lateral side or outside going in, and it's like, my elbow. And prolonged pressure to that area. So again, think about those armrests and think of the people who, when they get up, they push off their arms and they're applying all that pressure to their elbow. Sleeping posture can also heck it up. Being a waiter can heck it up, because again, it's that constant elbow flexion of just like, oh, look at me. Gymnastics, cheerleading can also play a part of it, because maybe potential trauma. And I guess they're pom-poms of yeah. Anyway, sorry. Weightlifting or martial arts and arthritis can also affect it. So what are some of the symptoms of people who are gonna have this ulnar nerve entrapment, or what do you call it, this cubital tunnel syndrome? What's gonna happen is that they're gonna have a large carrying angle. Remember? Oh, I forgot they have little stickers. Oh no, but my alert. Wait. Oh, I don't have my thing on. Wait. I started stream abruptly, so I really do apologize. One moment. Oh my goodness. Here, let's do this right. Holy heck. Oh, that's so embarrassing. I don't even have my thing set up today. Holy heck. You have 3 moments? No, wait! I need more! My computer's slow! Wait. Wait, gamers, what if I don't even have my alerts on this scene? I want a refund. 5 more moments? Wrong one! I meant to BRB. So I can copy and paste my alerts. Because I don't see them here. Oh my goodness. That's so embarrassing. Thank you for streaming. Yeah, thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Evercom. Otis, thank you so very much for the follow. I will get the alert to you in like 5 seconds. I apologize for my scuffness. I don't know. But welcome to the Cup Club. Welcome. Hey, you don't have to end. It's okay. You can have more moments. Let's go. Let's get the more moments. Hi, Galazzo. Hey. Welcome. Oh my goodness. What's beeping? Okay, let me quickly BRB though. This is a disgrace. Hold on. Oh, okay. I'm in the void. I'm sorry. Hey, I tried to replay the alert, but I guess my alerts are just not working now either. So, I want to formally apologize again for my scuff. I guess. So I know I BRB'd and we didn't do even a raffle. So let me politely just do this for you cubs while we get back into it. Okay, welcome back. Thank you. My alert box isn't working. Ah! Oh well, if I test that one, that's fine. Huh. Anyway, that's what it would have looked like. It would have been like Gao Gao, right? Yeah? Gao Gao? Gao Gao? Gao Gao. It would have had your name and lights with the confetti. Welcome to Kokwa. Welcome. Hi, Storm as well. Hi. Welcome. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's get back into it, shall we? Now that I have my alerts working. Gamers, congratulations. Gamer. No, the Gao economy is in shambles. No! Wait. Anyway, so large carrying angle would be present in those who have cubital tunnel syndrome. So what does that mean? So remember the anime girl? Oh heck, my MS Paint too? Squeam! Oh, this is transparent as heck. Alright cubs, so remember anime girl angles where you're just like, oh wow, this is really opaque. Holy heck. Okay, whatever. We'll use crown. So anime girls, right? They have like these arms and their arms tend to be out to the side like that. That's what we refer to as a carrying angle. Even though it's, oh my goodness, hold on. Oh, is it because it's this? Oh, it was just layering. I'm like, I don't remember making the MS Paint opaque. Anyway, when their arms are out like that, that's referring to a carrying angle. Men and women have different ones. Let me see if I can grab a better picture to show you cubs. Carrying angle. If you put your arms out to the side with your palms facing forward, you're always going to have this slight space, and again that's going to be referring to the carrying angle with the degrees and the angulation of your elbow. But if you have something called cubitus valgus, you're going to end up with something more, I guess, anime girl like think of all like the 2D model references that you see, and their arms are out like that. They have cubitus valgus. And then we have something a little bit different. We have varus, which means that the arm, I don't have rotation on MS Paint, but the arm would be close to the side. Maybe it's better to use the normal. The arm would be like this. much closer. Alright, so let me get rid of that and we're good. Oh no! I'm fixing the Gao economy! One moment! Da-da! 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 Happy gambling! So they're gonna have a larger carrying angle, so again their arms are gonna be going more outward, and also there's gonna be a decreased sensation on the ulnar side of the palm and the medial half of the fourth finger, and the entire fifth digit is basically going to be gone with cubital tunnel syndrome just because of that sensation and entrapment, and is not getting that innervation. And we know that the ulnar nerve is going to travel all the way down to the pinky side. So again, our pinky, oh, hand, no, you don't want to, hand, pinky, and our fourth digit, fourth digit right here, our ring finger is going to get affected, but only half of it. And cubitus valgus is a common affliction among anime girls, just like knock knees. Okay, bring out the picture of the bow-legged person, which we'll talk about later. We're technically on the like foot and ankle. bow-legged. Well, just bow leg. Papa. Where's a good picture? Man. Okay, this one's fine, I guess. See? So we'll talk about this later, I guess. And let me also move this. So for your legs, this is your normal. It's normal because the knee alignment. Or you can have something called a... Oh, sorry, it's bow. This is bow-leggedness. Sorry. This is bow-leggedness right here where the legs go out, and this is definitely not normal. Or you have knock knees, so you see the angulations and the knees kind of sticking together. And that's all something to do with the hip angle of the ball and socket joint here. Kind of similar to the carrying angle that we were talking about with the elbow and the carrying angle that we were just talking about a little while ago, but for the, well, hip. I think it's always fun to see IRL examples, but gosh darn it, sometimes seeing like bow-leggedness, deformity IRL is horrifying. Ugh. So how do we determine we have a cubital tunnel? So we could do some neuromuscular stuff, so we can check about weakness of the innervated muscles on that side. Any muscle that's going to be innervated by the ulnar nerves, so flexor carpi or extensor carpi ulnaris, definitely safe. And just sensory defects, like, hey, have you lost sensation to your pinky? Oh. A meat emo. Anyway, MMT is going to be decreased muscle strength of your hypothenar muscle. So hypothenar referring to your pinky. Interossei and adductor pollicis, those muscles are innervated by the ulnar nerve. It's also going to show weakness. Sorry for the disco dancing. PFT, so if you do the palpation over the cubital tunnel, so getting the 3 fingers, middle finger touching the elbow. The cubital tunnel is like the divot in between the bony prominence, and I want to say, yeah, it's on your medial side. I'm like, oh, lateral, medial, lateral. No, it's on the medial side. So again, 3 fingers on the elbow, middle finger on the elbow. And if you're using your right to palpate or to touch your left arm, use that ring finger to touch the bony prominence, but then find a little space in between the bony prominence and your elbow, and you press down, and ta-da! You're entrapping your ulnar nerve. Congratulations! Do you feel the funny sensation? I hope you didn't do that, because gosh darn it, being conscious of my own body freaks me out. So, ta-da! And oh yeah, and some things we could do Tinel signs to determine about ulnar, or kind of more like a rule out, because we refer to wait, no, I mixed it up. I apologize. I confused Tinel sign for carpal tunnel syndrome. Tinel sign is a very easy test where basically on the medial side of the elbow, what you're gonna do is use 2 fingers and you're just gonna tap. You're just gonna, let's see. Tap, 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 but on your elbow. Tap, 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 tap on the medial side or the side closest to you. You tap for about 30 to 60 seconds, and if you feel radiating numbness or tingling down the arm on that pinky side, you might have ulnar nerve entrapment somewhere along the line. We could do the Frontman's test as well, which this one I need a refresher on, so let's try to see if we could grab a quick video about it. Okay, Frontman's test. Oh,
Frohman sign.
Frohman sign. Alright.
It's a test for ulnar nerve palsy, specifically testing the action.
So what's happening here is that, remember about the muscles that are innervated by the ulnar nerve? So adductor pollicis, adductor refers to the action adducting, so bringing something back to the midline of the body or closer to the body, and pollicis referring to thumb. The adductor pollicis muscle located on your thumb is one of the few, if not only, muscles in the thumb area that's innervated by the ulnar nerve. And remember, we associate the ulnar nerve with the pinky, so to see a nerve that's like, oh yeah, it's innervated by the ulnar nerve, the other side of your hand, that's a little wacky. Excuse me. So what this person is gonna do is that they have, the therapist is on the left, I assume the patient's on the right, and what they're gonna do is the therapist is gonna pull the paper away from them, and if they're unable to grasp onto that paper or adduct or squeeze their thumbs to the side of their fingers, then they may have a positive Frohman sign, which means that they may have some kind of ulnar nerve pathology. Hi Wardle, hi, welcome. Alright, let's go to the video, because the video is only 26 seconds.
Of adductor pollicis. To perform this test, ask the patient to hold a piece of paper in between her thumb and index finger and attempt to pull the paper from the patient's grip. A normal test is when the patient is able to maintain a hold on the paper. A positive test is when the patient compensates by flexing her flexor pollicis longus.
So you see how this person is, what do you call it? It's not a flat finger anymore like this one. This person's cheating. Because this person is cheating and they're using their flexor, it can indicate like, oh, why can't you just lay it flat? And it's like, oh, maybe because of this weakness, so you're compensating. So, da-da! Alright. No more YouTube. Alright, let's get back into the grind.
Hi.
Huh?
Welcome back to some more anatomy. Right.
Oh my goodness. Autoplay's my enemy. Cubital tunnel stuff, by the way, just to like show you another image, or they have images right here. Huh? Why? Okay, sorry. Elbow, and cubital tunnel on that medial side, and then we have your muscles, the flexor carpi ulnaris, also originating from that medial epicondyle, which we talked about being one muscle particularly, or not particularly, a possible muscle for tendinopathy, which again is that inflammation of the tendon. So, alright, let's talk about radial nerve entrapment, but give me one moment. I feel the hoarseness in my voice. No longer a bearcat, rebranding no horse. Nay. Nay. I don't know, I'm so dehydrated or feel so hoarse. Oh my goodness. Sorry, one moment. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm free. Let's talk about something super complicated. Let's talk about the radial nerve. So it's like, okay, we talked about the ulnar nerve and we're like, okay, pinky side. All right, now let's talk about radial nerve, which is going to be on the other side. So radial nerve entrapment of the supinator. So the supinator is a funky muscle that sounds really cool. And it's a pretty cool muscle. It helps you do the action of, drum roll please, da 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 da, supinate. It's like, wait, but what's supinate again? It's the palm up when you get your bowl of soup. Da-da! Sorry. So let's see if I could grab you a neat picture. Frohman sign is used to spot cheaters? Gotcha. Yes. No, not cheating. I know people cheating, but sometimes they don't mean it. It's just their body compensates and they don't even realize. Alright, this is your supinator muscle. You see? It's a muscle. But what happens is that the radial nerve is gonna pass through that muscle and it can get stuck. Supinating. Yeah. Supinating. Alright. But what happens is that the radial nerve splits off, and I think it splits off before the supinator, so one will go, I don't think they both pierce the supinator. This is something I have to double check, but either way, understand there's a sensory branch and a deep branch. So the superficial is all sensory. The deep one, however, is going to be affecting the motor, and there are a lot of muscles innervated by your radial nerve. Your whole backside of your entire arm, for the most part, with some exception of the hand, of course, is innervated by the radial nerve. So you have multiple muscles, which we will not, which I guess we could talk about. Heck, fine. Your extensor carpi radialis brevis. Yeah. Extensor digitorum, extensor digiti minimi, extensor carpi ulnaris. abductor pollicis, extensor pollicis longus, BEI. Oh wait, extensor pollicis longus and brevis right here, extensor indicis. So all your extensor muscles are basically affected. Supinator, ECRB, and ECRL are spared. So the muscles that extend the the muscles that extend your wrist and also that radial deviation business are going to be spared because the deep nerve will pass the supinator and pass these two muscles, but everything else is fair game basically. Think of it like how do you call it? It's just a cutoff point. Once it passes through and it gives that innervation, there's some kind of entrapment. Any other muscles lower than the entrapment are just gone, or they have at least some weakness. So this is where the cups come in of potential radial nerve entrapment of supinator. So mechanism of injury for this is that maybe you just have a typewriting job. Maybe you have an office job where you're typing a lot. Upholstery or mechanics, a job that requires a lot of supination and pronation. So maybe you're screwing something, like, I don't know, a screw. And you're doing a lot of like twisty motions with the wrist. It's a lot of supination and pronation with the palm down. You may have difficulty with gripping, pulling, or pushing. And hey, you have great wrist extension because again, the extensor carpi radialis, brevis, and longus, they're not affected. But you don't have good finger extension. So if I tell you to do the ET phone home thing, you're not gonna do a great impression of that, unfortunately. But that's okay. That's okay. So understand, for the radial nerve entrapment of the supinator, it's going to be mostly finger extensors that are going to be affected. It's going to be difficulty pronating fully while typing. I don't know why you would do palm up typing, but I guess in case you do. There's going to be pain with supination, so any underhand lifting, like maybe someone's like, hey, let's lift this table together, and you put your palms down and you try to lift it. Yeah, that's going to hurt. And you may have some weakness with wrist extensors and finger and thumb extensors, and you might just have some night pain with it. And night pain is actually a symptom of carpal tunnel, which we'll talk a little bit about later, so it's actually really interesting to see it here. Excuse me. Alright. So, how can we tell that we even have this? So, we have to understand that if we do passive range of motion, and we ask the person to pronate, so palm down, and we have them hold for 60 seconds, it may cause some pain. We can MLT the supinator, so if supinator is palm up, we'll do the opposite action and see if that causes any pain. Supinator, we can try to do a hold for 60 seconds and test to see if that causes any pain or if they have some weakness. And we could just do palpation for tenderness. We'll touch the supinator's muscle belly and we'll be like, hey, does that hurt? And let's see. The supinator is going to be on the radial side underneath like the little armpit divot and on the thumb side. So that's going to be on the lateral side, okay? Alright. Oh boy! Guess what? We talked about radial nerve entrapment of the supinator. Now let's get into it with the superficial and deep radial nerve entrapment. Oh, sorry, you can't see the name. I apologize. So this is kind of a doozy. Bear with me, please. Alright, so how is this different? This is, I believe, the splitting that I was trying to refer to. And this is something I could double check a little bit to see where the nerves split, but I'm gonna die. Sorry. Alright, so that was specifically also to the supinator muscle, but the superficial and deep radial entrapment is going to also be divided with superficial and deep and have their various things. Thank you for the blessings. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my goodness. So superficial is going to be sensory for the radial, and again, I'm telling you, that radial nerve innervates the entire back of your arm, both motor and sensory. So if we're only working on the superficial branch, we understand the superficial branch is going to be sensory only, and so it's going to be sensory to the posterior of the arm, the dorsum of the hand, or the back of the hand, not the palm. the back of the hand, and specifically digits 1, 2, and 3. So your thumb, your pointer, and your ring. Wait, I can't count fingers. Your thumb, your pointer, and your middle finger, your first 3 digits are going to be affected. And the radial side of the thumb especially will be affected. For deep branch, similar to the radial nerve entrapment of the supinator, that's going to be motor. So motor again being with movement, so you're going to have maybe some weakness with any of your extensors basically. It looks like a difference with this with the radial nerve entrapment of the supinator or superficial and deep radial nerve is sorry, baby he's just distracting me. That the extensor carpi radialis, brevis, and longus are spared with the supinator, but in this one, yeah, it doesn't look like they're spared at all. So you're gonna have some weakness. So you're gonna have, in addition to weak wrist extensors, you're gonna finger extensors, you're also gonna have weak wrist extensors as well. So that's really interesting. So how could this happen? How can we have a nerve entrapment of the superficial deep radial nerve? So could be a fracture or dislocation of the radial head. Could be possible. It could be hypertrophy or tightness of the ECRB. So maybe there's some kind of compression happening with that brevis muscle. And this is interesting. Sensations to the fingertips are good because they're innervated by a median nerve. I don't really think that's the mechanism of injury. I think that maybe it was supposed to go in symptoms. So let's actually pull up a picture really quick of hand innervations. Hand innervations. Ta-da! Alright, so the picture on the left is the palm of your hand, and the picture on the right is going to be, well, the back of your hand. So you see how there's these 3 nerves that are innervating, and these are the nerves that we've been really talking about. I feel like we've been focusing more on the green and pink, the green being ulna and the pink being radial, but I'm sure median nerve will get its chance in the near future, especially when we go ahead and talk about carpal tunnel syndrome. But the ulnar nerve again is focusing on that pinky, so let's get Tipalung again, okay? So we see here on the palmar side, our pinky is going to get affected with the ulnar nerve, which makes sense because we know that's where the ulnar bone is and the ulnar nerve running through here. So ta-da! But let's look at it flipped. Ta-da! So now we're looking at the back of the hand, and you see it still has the pinky, has a little bit of the ring finger, and half of the middle one. Is this correct? Hold on. I'm not as familiar. Let's see. No, apparently it is correct. Sorry, I'm more used to the palmar side, so I'm like, huh? What? Anyway, so ulnar nerve pinky, some of your ring finger, a good portion of it really, and half of your middle finger, kind of. Going back to the palm, let's go to radial nerve. So the side of the thumb, as mentioned earlier for the supinator one, and we can see the radial nerve here as well. So it's still your thumb, still your index finger, and half quotation marks asterisk question mark the middle finger. But then you have all of the median nerve, which is the remaining parts that we haven't talked about yet in blue. So you have half your fourth finger, your middle finger, your pointer, and your thumb. And you notice on the dorsum of the hand, it's all fingertips, baby. So let's go back. So that's why sensations to the fingertips are good, because even though we're talking about that radial nerve that again affecting the thumb, let's pull up the picture again in the pink. Look, all in blue in the fingertips for the most part, with the exception of your pinky. If your fingertips are good, then that means your median nerve is good. So ta-da! Alright, so what are some symptoms that you can experience if you have superficial and deep radial nerve entrapments? Kirby, no! You're not gonna fail the test! You're gonna be so great! If you're gonna fail the test, I'm gonna fail the test. Hi, Heido! Welcome, 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 welcome! Oh no! Oh no! computer speaking. I apologize. But no, I don't put that bad energy out there. I have to pass this test, or if not, I'm gonna fail the course. I will explain it so easy. You know what's the cheat system? You have a body, right? Thankfully, I hope you do. Everyone has a body, and they can always like palpate or like touch the appropriate areas to be like, yes, I now understand the elbow and wrist. Remember crying so loud in the exam, but please keep the paper dry? I wish you success. Honestly, I also wish you success, especially if you're a student doing your own thing as well. Goodness gracious. Being a student sucks. Let me say that. As a lifelong learner. Anyway. Oh, sorry, symptoms. Yeah. Of the superficial and deep radial nerve entrapment. So what's gonna happen here is that due to the entrapment of the ECRB, which maybe we should grab a picture of the ECRB. You're gonna have pain with the dorsal aspect of the first metacarpal joint. So back of the hand. Wait, yeah. Yeah. Back of the hand and the first metacarpal joint. So maybe somewhere around here where tip of lung is. Right there. You're most likely gonna have pain. It looks like you're also gonna have pain with lengthening the ECRB. So pretty much maybe trying to extend the third finger because that's where it goes to. You're gonna have trouble with that or pain with that. For the ECRB, if you were to palpate, so if you did some funky things with the fingers, you can contract the muscle. You can feel it up on the forearm. And patients who are diagnosed with lateral epicondylitis may also have this disease kind of hand in hand because of maybe some entrapment up there. Apparently due to some supinator hypertrophy, so again the muscle groin, it may affect finger extension, and it looks like extensor carpi radialis longus and brevis will be okay. I have no idea why. I have no idea. I just read it and I'm like, huh? What? Is it literally cause this? We'll look at it later, okay, Cups? Oh wait, don't look at this later though. Alright, so how do we know we have radial nerve entrapment? So we can stretch it and see if it replicates any of their symptoms. So we can have extensor carpi radialis brevis, tricep or supinator stretching. For MMT, we could test out the supinator and all the extensor tunnel muscles. So basically the extensor carpi radialis longus and brevis. Palpation for tenderness, ECRB or supinator. Excuse me. And Tunnel sign in the hollow. So again, Tunnel sign is that tapping with the two fingers, tappa 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 tappa, and you tap for about 30 to 60 seconds. Okay. I don't want any of these, but we'll run through them. Okay, super fast, super quick, because we only have like maybe an hour left. So heck. MCL or UCL tear. So this is medial collateral ligament tear, also known as ulnar collateral ligament. I forgot the stickers, they're so cute. Oh my goodness. Durag Kirby, thank you so very much for the follow. Welcome to the Cup Club. Welcome. Thank you. So should I grab a picture for this? Let's see. MCL tear. Oh, I forgot there's also the knee, so let's specify the elbow. Alright, ta-da! So this is your ulnar collateral ligament. So what happens is that there might be a tear in this. This is again on the medial side. Complete tears open on valgus stress test with elbow 25. What are they talking about? What is this? What is this? I'm ignoring it. Anyway, MCL tear is a ligament tear in the medial ligament of the elbow, so the picture you just saw. And the ages tend to be 20 to 45 when you get a tear. I feel like most of the time these kind of tears happen with athletes. So let's look at some of the mechanisms of injury with MCL tear, okay? So we have overhead athletes. So look, just don't become an athlete. Very easy. Don't be sporty. You'll never get injured. Or don't be an overhead athlete. But MCL tears can occur with throwing or tennis serving. Most likely you're gonna get this tear because of a whoosh injury. Remember falling on outstretched arm? Whoosh! Trying to catch yourself and you just hurt your elbow. Overuse injury of the valgus strain, and maybe some force twisting in the arm can hack it up. But basically, the only symptom that person is gonna have is that they're like, "Ow, the medial side of my elbow hurts." Okay, okay, that's fine. So let's do. You could do some assessments. So you could do palpation for condition. They may have some bruising over the ulnar aspect. Just regenerate. BRB rebranding the starfish. I wish so. I mean, our body has really good regeneration powers to some aspects. But I wouldn't like start decapitating any of my limbs anytime soon. Anyway, passive range of motion accessory. We could do some distraction to see maybe that relieves some of their symptoms, and some special tests. So we can do a valgus stress test, which is basically reapplying the same force that may have caused them this injury in the first place, but in a much lighter way, and seeing if that can replicate symptoms. We can also do PFT, which is palpation for tenderness. The milking maneuver. Listen, I have no idea what the milking maneuver is. We can Google this because I'm curious, but this was not a special test that I was taught. Oh goodness. Alright, break out the YouTube video.
Video, we are going to take a closer look at the modified milking maneuver for medial instability of the elbow. Exert. We could not identify any studies investigating its diagnostic ability. To conduct the modified milking maneuver, have the patient in sitting position with the arm positioned in around 70 degrees of flexion, adduction and maximal external rotation. This position is supported by the patient's other arm. Positioning the elbow in 70 degrees of flexion has been identified in a cadaver study as the position of greatest valgus laxity. Proceed by palpating the medial joint line with your thumb and then fully supinate the patient's forearm.
There's so many steps to this.
The patient's thumb,
just milk his thumb. It's fine.
To the elbow.
That's it. Oh wait, positive?
Test will show an apprehension, instability, and medial joint pain.
Thank you, physio tutors. I appreciate it. What's going on here? It's just a name. It's just a name, okay? Yeah, hello. Hi. Welcome. This will unlock the arm. So look, he has to support himself. Gosh darn it. Okay, I just have to memorize the milking maneuver because I would like to do 2 special tests so my teachers don't hate me. Alright, let's move on, okay? The what? Gosh darn it. Hi Astra, hi, welcome as well. Welcome. I wish I could smile again. I could smile. But it puts the sound off. How sad. Anyway. It's a special test, okay? To make sure that your collateral ligament here, cue the picture, ta-da, is okay, okay? Okay. Olecranon bursitis. Whoa, we have another itis word, which means we have some inflammation. But of where? The bursa! Bursitis! So your bursa is... Oh gosh darn it, let me grab a picture. Olecranon bursa. I think people refer to this as like the fat pad. And... I actually have to double check this. Give me one moment. I'll put the picture up regardless. Hold on. Gosh darn it, why is it so big? Please take that. Let's see. Is Olecranon, bursa, and fat pad the same? Huh? In the elbow? Question mark? Hello? Can I get a confirmation? not getting anything. Okay, what if I just look up fat pad of elbow? Or maybe it's a knee thing, who knows? No? Nope, you definitely have one in the elbow. Ah, not important. Either way, inflammation. Da-da! Watch, hi, welcome! Wait, Cubs, I forgot to tell you! The new one's coming. The new ones. My Forever 17 one's coming in. Hi. Kinda. Alright, half booty, hi. Alright, back to business. Fat pad? The only thing under my skin at the highlighted place is bone. No, you have a tiny fat pad. The tiniest, world's tiniest fat pad at least. I just apparently don't know my anatomy enough to talk about it anymore. Alright. Olecranon bursitis. It can happen because of trauma. You fell. And maybe you're anywhere from the ages 20 to 50. Palpation for condition and palpation for tenderness are going to be super important, as this is going to be inflammation of the bursa, of the olecranon, and the tricep muscle. This can happen because maybe you fell directly onto your elbow. Maybe there's repetitive weight bearing activities. Maybe repetitive. Goodness gracious, my English. Rubbing of the posterior elbow. Maybe you're on you have a special job or occupations that you're on your knees to crawl. So when you're on your knees to crawl, you're on your elbows. Think of like firefighters, and they're leaning in their elbows to maybe crawl into like tight spaces. IDK. So why would I have this? Like, why would I even think I have it? So what's gonna happen is that you may have pain in the posterior elbow near the olecranon. And how we're gonna do it is that we can see some stuff like with structural inspection. Da-da! You could see maybe abrasion or contusion. Maybe again they fell, or maybe it looks a little rough because maybe they're on their elbows a lot. Palpate for condition. We could touch the elbow or the olecranon and be like, does it hurt? Active range of motion. We'll notice decreased range of motion due to pain in elbow flexion and extension, because that's what our elbow does, and if we're not able to do that, might have bursitis. Let's see. We could stretch it out with some elbow flexion, and when we do that, there might be some pain because we're trying to stretch the tricep, and because the tricep is also involved into this, it's going to cause pain. And palpation for tenderness again on the olecranon or the elbow. Bursa? Yeah, this, whatever it is. I think it's a fat pad. I think it's like a little pad that you have in the back of your elbow. But Google is telling me nothing about it, and I only have limited time to clarify, so I'm like, boohoo, boohoo. Alright, LCL or RCL. LCL is basically whatever I just showed you. Oh, that's not the picture. But basically it's MCL, but not. It's not on the medial side, it's on the lateral side. It is the LCL or RCL, lateral collateral ligament tear or radius collateral ligament. So what is it? It's a ligament tear of the lateral elbow of the ligament of the elbow. Mechanisms of injury. So this one tends to tear a little bit more to my understanding, and this could be due to elbow dislocation. Iatrogenic cause? Wait, heck, what does this mean again? This is not the same as idiopathic. I think this was something about like medical. Hold on. Yeah. Iatrogenic. I now am recalling by looking up at the definition. You may have a tear of the LCL because of some treatment from a medical professional. More specifically, apparently your physician can cause this tear, and it's like, oops, my bad. Good thing we have medical insurance, am I right? And then we have medical protective insurances in case, you know, your medical professional hacks up. Anyway, so that can be an issue, and also you can just fall on it. Whoosh! LCL is going to pop with significant weight bearing activities and force twisting the arm into varus. So a medial force from like the midline to your body going out is considered like a varus force. I wonder if I can draw it really quick. So this is your elbow, but your hands, yeah, that's a hand, right? Well, the elbow looks really cute, the hand not so much. And let's say this is your body body. So forces, if we do this, wait, hold on, what are we doing? Yeah, if we do this, this is considered varus force. Sorry. And if we do it here, this is considered a valgus force, so force again coming from the outside, or how I'd like to say more like laterally, you know? While varus is inside, and that's what's gonna happen when you have a varus force. When you're pushing, how do you call it? It in like this into this direction and going out, you're stressing out the LCL, and we know the LCL again, it's gonna be on that lateral side or our thumb side, which, sorry, your thumb is supposed to be there, but not an artiste, by the way. So some pain is going to be on the lateral aspect, as you can imagine, because of the tear. LCL tear, annual tear, which keeps radial head in place. Oh, basically you could just have some laxity, so more movement than anticipated, and may have some instability because of the acute trauma. So how can we determine this? We could do palpation for condition to get on the lateral side. We can do a special test where we stress the elbow into varus, and we just took a little picture of that. Sorry. We could palpate for tenderness, so we could palpate on that lateral side and be like, does it hurt? And could have, what is it saying? PL? I'm not sure what it's referring to. Posterior lateral? Rotation instability if the annular ligament is torn. You'll have pain and clicking, feeling of elbow instability with elbow flexion. Sure. But this is an article I found regarding the fat pad. Says the elbow is best known for the fat pad. Wait, let me use my mouse. Holy heck! This is best known as the fat pad sign in the diagnosis of the elbow. That elbow joint possesses a ventral as well as a dorsal fat pad, and the lateral X-ray of the elbow at 90 degrees of fraction. Physiologically, only the anterior fat pad can be displayed, which is visible from the fossa corona and parallel to the humerus runs. The rear fat pad is located on the fossa lacrani and is replaced by bone superimposed. Oh. TLDR, fat pad looks to be... Oh no, you're good. That's what I'm like, huh? Not the coronoid? I'm like, a coronoid idea? No, you're good. I appreciate it. So what I think it's saying is that basically there is a fat pad both the front, anterior, and posterior, but the posterior will be eventually replaced by bone? Or maybe a good chunk of it? I know we all still have fat pads. It's not like it's something that you age out of, but maybe, again, according to the x-ray, maybe the front is more visible. But thank you for the resource. I appreciate it. Again, this is like noting. I'm like, oh gosh darn, I have to look at anatomy again. Woohoo! Woohoo! Alright, Cubs. Can we make it to 40? I believe in us. Alright, next disorder. Anterior interossei nerve entrapment. So this is going to be damage to the AIN, the anterior interosseous nerve. And this is going to be a branch off the median nerve. So now our median nerve has some time to shine. Caleb says, what was the question about the bursa again? Caleb, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be an anatomy expert, but I'm like, is the bursa and a fat pad the same on the elbow? Asking for a friend. We're all friends here, right? You can do it to keep up. Cries, dies, stops. Thank you though. I will do my best. Thank you! Alright, so the median nerve, it can also do sensory and motor stuff. It looks like the mechanism of injury, this entrapment tends to be traumatic because of forearm fractures, penetrating wounds, and stab wounds, and cast fixations can also cause this kind of entrapment. It can be entrapped by just muscles being bulky, or it can be entrapped by the pronator teres. This is super neat because you're going to have pain in the forearm, and you're going to have weakness with some of the medial nerve muscles, such as your flexor pollicis longus, so flexing the thumb, flexor digitorum profundus on the lateral half, so thumb side is going to have some issues still, and the pronator quadratus, maybe they're not able to, pronate or put their palm down. Oh my goodness. And this one has a cool test if it helps, and I can show you Cubs. If I recall, whenever I cut open a bursa on the cadaver, it was just fatty tissue, so I think so. But I'll pull out my anatomy textbook to make sure. Thank you, because I'm trying to Google it, and it's not really giving me any results. And I'm like, am I under the like weird wrong impression? I just want to know. Okay, okay. Let's see though. Where's my YouTube tab? YouTube. Alright, pinch test, pinch script test. Surely there must be a fancier word than fat pad. That's where you would think. Anyway, so interosseous, let's see.
The pinch grip test is used to test for compression of the median nerve, specifically the anterior interosseous branch, just above the elbow. This is also known
as... Wait, I like that picture. Wow, look, the median nerve. Wow, running towards the medial side of your body. Wow, towards your thumb. Wow, which makes sense for all the thumb muscles being weak and whatever. But I wish I gave a picture of the anterior interosseous branching off.
Also known as anterior interosseous syndrome. The patient pinches a piece of paper between the index...
Wow, you see how they zoom into that? No, I'm just kidding. You see how they're pinching?
Finger and thumb. The test is positive if they are unable to pinch the tips of the finger and thumb together without the end joints collapsing.
What a horrible test! Let's break out this one.
As shown here.
So basically, you can't do okay hand sign, okay? Like you can't. I can't do it apparently. But you see how my it's pretty pointed. I can make like a really good circle. Well, this one is more oval. So what happens is that the anterior interosseous nerve, which is going to help innervate the flexor pollicis longus and the flexor digitorum, what's going to happen here is that your fingers are unable to flex. So if they're unable to flex, they will lay flat like that in a more neutral position because they don't have enough strength or they don't have that innervation to flex. So that's why you can't do the perfect okay hand sign. And that is why it looks more flat on this video. So ta-da! Sunny, hi! Welcome! Hi! Hey, does this nerve lie below the muscle in the arm portion? Yes. To my knowledge. Alright, time to look at pictures of cadavers. I want to say yes. I want to say yes. Huh? Yeah, I messed up. Bursa's just little baggies filled with synovial fluid. Oh wait, you're so right for that. Why is everything yellow? That's a great question. Sunny, I didn't think I was going to be able to stream today. So last minute, yesterday I was playing with this app and they have a classroom and it's very yellow for goodness knows whatever reason. You know what? Heck it. Immersion ruin. I thought it was more aesthetic to teach this way. But it's very cool in 3D. Very, very cute. But it's supposed to be like, I don't know, after school or something, you know? Anyway. Ta-da! Ta-da! VR? It is this program called this. And they basically put you into a room and I thought this is the second cutest room, okay? Alright, let me Zawada! Alright. Yeah, very fun app. Just randomly grab a 3D avatar that's free to use and feel free to mess with it yourself. But yeah, it has hand tracking. I can't get over it, but my tracking's a little wonky because I decided to be in this pose. And sometimes my mic arm will pick up, unfortunately. Anyway. Yeah, so that's the pinch grip test, and then we also noticed that there's a weak pronator quadratus. Oh, where am I? Sorry. A weak pronator quadratus, a weak flexor pollicis longus, and weak flexor digitorum profundus for the radial half. So yes. Alright. I just want to get to carpal tunnel. Oh. The Mexico filter in me. Guys, I'll learn how not to make it this, okay? I'll bet, like, hold on. I made it darker. Kind of. Right? Eh? Oh, I'm not as yellow anymore. Let's go! Oh, they also have... Oh, heck. Hold on. Evil Tipanya. Alright. Now let me go back to this one. See? Okay, I'm not as yellow anymore, so... It's fixed. Quotation marks. I guess. Menacing? Just a little bit, I'm not gonna lie to you. Alright, hold on. Okay. My classmate is being very nice with resources and I appreciate them. Alright. Back to business. You only have like 30 minutes. Alright. Pronator teres syndrome. So pronator teres is a muscle. It helps you pronate. I don't know why it's called teres. So what happens is that median nerve that we were just talking about can get trapped into the pronator, and so your motor and sensory can be gone, and we talked about the sensation and the mapping of that. But other muscles that are innervated, that are below the pronator teres, that are innervated by the medial muscles, such as the pronator teres itself, palmaris longus, the flexor group, pronator quadratus, and your loaf muscles, just as like your oh gosh, the name is escaping me. It's a mnemonic. It's like lateral something, opponents pollicis, oh my goodness, abductor pollicis longus. It's a mnemonic. It's escaping me. But yeah, those are the muscles that's going to innervate, and pretty much what happens is that there's entrapment, so there's going to be weakness of those muscles that I will definitely look up later. Anyway, this can happen because maybe you have bulkiness of the pronator teres, and think about it, people who most likely have a bulky pronator teres, people who put their palms down a lot, are truck drivers. Think of those people. Literally, I had just met a truck driver who's like, yeah, I drive 650 miles a day, and I'm like, huh, 650? And they're like, oh, that doesn't include my drive to go to my job. And I'm like, it's awful. But they're like, I like driving. I'm like, good on ya. Keep on trucking. Just take care of yourself. But yeah, you're gonna have pain with pronation, so putting that palm down. You're gonna have a loss of sensation of the palm before motor. There could be some soreness of the flexors group due to the retinaculum and the fascia after surgery. Some muscles spared by the pronator teres can be, well, pronator teres itself, palmaris longus, or the flexor carpi radialis. Muscles that are weakened, we just talked about that. So you can do a lot of strength testing or stretching in the pronator teres to see if you can replicate symptoms. You could try to do neuromuscular, a decreased sensation, musculature. You could do palpation for tenderness, which is just touching the heads of the pronator, which is going to be on the medial side. And you can also do Tinel sign at pronator teres for 60 seconds. So you're also just going to be tapping, okay? Tapping until they start feeling tingliness, okay? Oh no, we're almost at carpal tunnel. I feel it. Alright, ligament of Struder's median nerve? No idea, but let's read it, okay? The ligament of Struder's is a fibrous band extending from the tip of the process of the medial epicondyle, okay? Wait. Eh? This is the most I can zoom in. But it's here. That's basically what they're saying. The median nerve in the brachial artery passes under this ligament and can be compressed, causing supracondylar process syndrome. Oh, okay. The ligament... Wait, I already read that. All forearm pronators and flexors are affected, as well as wrist innervation sensation. Oh, okay. We could do some neurovascular, so we could do sensation of the median nerve, maybe some tapping or asking if they feel within that sensation pattern that we were talking about earlier. We can palpate the supracondylar process, so up here and up here, I suppose. Cries. And they're just gonna have pain with pronation, which I'm not really sure why. Why with pronation and not flexion as well? Well, look at that later. Ta-da! I can understand why it could be pronation, but like, I feel like if it was lower with these two bones, the radius and ulna, which actually deal with the supination pronation, I feel like it would make more sense. But maybe there's some kind of contraption, you know? Bone tier list stream after this? Alright, I got you. The humerus is the funniest bone around, and humor gets you really far, you know? Anyway. Distal radial ulnar joint instability. So this one is really interesting. This one is basically where you think your wrist would be. I don't have a bone picture. Hold on. Okay. So when we talk about... Oh. It's not letting me crop it. It's only letting me stretch it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Anyway, this part at the end. Let's get to belong. This here and here, these two bones right before your carpal bones, that is referred to as your distal radial ulnar joint. And what happened is that you can have stability. So with instability, basically you put yourself at risk for a lot of hecking things. Most likely this had occurred because maybe you had fell, so like a fush injury with twisting. So maybe when you fell, you're like, ah, and you twisted your arm a certain way. Like this is in radial deviation, and I feel like it's more pronating, and then this is your supination and you fell. I'm sorry, my fingers are doing that. Whoa. Apparently fusion more flexion might also be a possibility, but basically you just fell. Can also be following a fracture of the ulnar and radius, so you're gonna have pain with that pronation supination. So arm, palm up, palm down, palm up, palm, wait, maybe this arm. Palm, oh, nope, never mind. We're not doing that anymore. Anyway, palm up, palm down, and that kind of motion, pronation, supination, you're gonna have pain with the instability. So how the hecky do we do this, and how can we confirm this? Active range of motion, you have them do it. Passively, we'll move them, and then palpation for tenderness, we'll just feel around that area and be like, hey, this is hurt because maybe they have like a fracture. Are your fingers okay? I wish they were. They're okay now. I have no idea. I'm so glad Tipanya is helping out. Tipanya is still good. Rubber bones? It felt like it. And yeah, that's that. Alright. Hold on really quick. Oh, okay, so I feel pretty good. So, the last one is 72. I'm not saying we're getting the 72 anytime soon. Let's talk about the Aquarian syndrome as our last one, and then we'll politely wrap it up, okay? So let's talk about carpal tunnel syndrome. Yay! I feel like that's a really common one that you see folks on the internet have. And basically, it's the median nerve getting involved again. So the medial nerve entrapment is going to be more distal. The really cool thing about carpal tunnel, even though it's not cool whatsoever, is that the sensation pattern that we had shown... Let me see. You know how we're like, oh, the hand and the tips of the finger on the back, it's all going to be okay, right? Well, for carpal tunnel, the palm of your hand right about here, yeah, kind of, there's like a small circular area that's going to be spared, but everything else that will be normally innervated by the median nerve. So let's see, let's break out the picture again. Oh, it's because I messed around with the elbow one, or the distal radial ulnar joint. Hold on. It just doesn't want to show because it hates me. No. Yeah, I have no idea why the image is not showing. But anyway, everything that blue hand picture that we were showing earlier is going to be affected. For pronator teres syndrome, even though yes, that is going to be the median nerve that's going to be entrapped, your whole entire hand, sensory-wise, would be wiped out. While again, with carpal tunnel, we're going to have that circular palm sparing. Hi, baby peas. Bye, baby peas. Goodbye. So, why does carpal tunnel syndrome happen? So, trauma, overuse, edema or effusion, so like some of the swelling in your arm, maybe your carpal bones too. Flexor tightness can also be squeezing on the median nerve. Sorry, it's picking up my mic. A displaced lunate, which is one of your carpal bones, And flexor retinaculum tightness can also be compressing down onto it, causing that entrapment and causing carpal tunnel. Okay. And let's see. Did I hear Peach? She was sleeping next to me this whole time. Her bed is so warm. She is so cute. She just went out because she's a hungry baby who probably just wanted to grab her dry food that's just sitting out. So how do we know we have carpal tunnel? Yeah, I'm a gamer. I have carpal tunnel. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. So you would have pain, tingling and numbness, and loss of sensation distribution to digits 1, 2, 3, and half of 4, with the middle still intact. Here. And night pain and morning paresthesia. Again, night pain was something another symptom had that we have to go back and look. But again, one of those, like, I wouldn't say cardinal signs, but like definitely well noted sign of carpal tunnel is having night pain. Oh no, you're so good, Atomic. Please have a good one. Drive safe. Oh my goodness, it's so like trafficky right now. Good luck picking up your dad from the airport. Holy heck. Sometimes people with carpal tunnel feel like they have to shake off their arms, like, oh, wah, 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 wah. Oh goodness, my fingers. To obtain relief. And just general fatigue and achiness in the hands. They don't feel like they can use that as much, can be indicative of carpal tunnel. And some motor stuff is that your anterior forearm, excluding the flexor digitorum profundus and carpio ulnaris, can all be affected. Hold on. Sorry, I'm so bothered that's picking up my mic, so I had to move it down, and hopefully that doesn't like magically decrease my sound quality or make me sound like I'm like speaking above you cubs. But I'm tired of the like the cute little like yeah 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 yeah. I'm like, that's not my arm. That's not my arm. Anyway, flexor digitorum profundus doesn't get affected as much because it's also innervated by the ulnar nerve, and flexor carpio ulnaris doesn't really get affected even though it's on the anterior forearm along with the medial nerve because it also gets innervated by the ulnar nerve. Ape hand deformity will cause the index and middle finger to be more flexed than the pinky and ring finger. So there's a picture, but let's see. Index, oh I can't, my gamer hands will not let me do this. But this is ape hand kind of, a little bit, if you see through the transparency. I think there's a better picture. We'll look at it, okay? So how do we know we have carpal tunnel? So, a history of night pain, passive range of motion accessory. So if I were to move the lunate on the pisiform, it might elicit some symptoms. Palpation for condition, weakness of the thenar muscles in lumbricals 1 and 2. Palpation for tenderness, carpal tunnel up to 60 seconds. Neuromuscular, you could test sensation of the palm to rule out PTS and to test MMT of the thenars. And special tests, we could do Tinel sign or Phelan's reverse. Oh my gosh, I didn't read that right. Phelan's test or reverse Phelan. So Tinel sign again is a tapping, but we'll be doing the tapping at the wrist. So, that here. Oh, no, it won't capture it. Anyway, you just tap on the wrist. Phelan sign, that's the one where you're doing the prayer, or not the prayer. You're doing the backs of the hands and you're pressing together. And then reverse phalanx is when you're doing the prayer and you're pushing your hands together and you're holding for about that 30 to 60 seconds for carpal tunnel. So, ta-da! There's so much traffic, I know. At 6 o'clock too? No thank you, no thank you. Alright, let's let again this one be our last one. So let's talk about the Aquarian syndrome. So this one's really interesting because I was thinking of like randomly diagnosing myself with this one, but I'm like, oh actually it's not where it's supposed to be. So I'm like, I don't know what I have right now. So the Aquarian syndrome is pain and inflammation of the tendons on the first wrist extensor tunnel. So your extensor pollicis longus and your abductor pollicis longus, it's basically inflamed muscles. So this would be cool because you can rule out superficial radial nerve entrapment, which we talked about, which is the loss of sensation on the thumb side. What's going to happen as the mechanism of injury for Aquarians is that it's going to have a gradual onset, It happens to females more than males. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo. Edema, so some swelling. Maybe you have arthritis, it's inflammation. And it could just be thickening secondary to degenerative changes that are happening with your hand. Really, how you're going to get this disease, or sorry, not disease, disorder, pathology, is going to be repetitive use. So pinching, lifting, knitting, wringing, and gardening are all going to be actions that are most likely going to inflame the extensor pollicis longus and the abductor pollicis longus. So how do you know that you have this? So you may have some pain. You may have pain on the radial side of your wrist and arm, so basically on top of your thumb, which is to signify the first extensor carpal. You may also have pain with some radial deviation, so again, that like, hi, and you're turning your hand off to the side. When you turn your hand to the side, to the thumb side, you're like, ow, that actually hurts a little bit. But overall, there should be a constant aching, burning, and pulling sensation. So how can we test that we have the quarians? So PFC, palpation for condition, so we can touch to see if there's any warmth or swelling, and basically any thickening over those two muscles that we were talking about. And for active range of motion, there can be pain with abduction and extension. So abduction's a little bit weird, and my hand is already freaking out, so I don't know if I can indicate this well, but this is abduction of the thumb. So your hand is flat, and then you bring your thumb up, pointing to the ceiling. That is abduction, while extension is what you think it is. It's whoop, whoop. This is flexion. This is extension. Flexion, extension. Flexion, extension. Good job. You would have pain with that and ulnar deviation. So the high, but you're going towards the pinky side, and that's also going to cause some pain. And past the range of motion, we can have pain with flexion and adduction of the thumb. So basically the opposite motion can also cause pain. And with ulnar deviation. We can also test the strength to see if there is a strong and painful thumb abduction and extension. We could go stretch it, and we could do Finkelstein's test. So this one's also cute. This one, I think you just put like the, how do you call it? Your thumb into your fist, and you like just deviate your arm. So let's check this one out, okay? Alright.
This video we are going to show you the so that the wrist remains at the edge of the treatment table.
I didn't know you could
The
do
arm
this
is
here.
positioned with the ulnar aspect of the forearm on the table and the ulnar aspect of the hand hanging off of the edge.
Go go! Cousin, thank you so very much for the follow. Welcome to the Copa. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Forearm is maintained in neutral. In the first step, the patient's pain is assessed with gravity-assisted.
I feel like I have to speed it up. I'm like, no, I just want to know. Hi, Matt, by the way. Hi, welcome, welcome. Hold on, we're trying to learn how to do a special test.
Gentle active ulnar deviation at the wrist. This version is suitable for patients who present in the acute phase. This test is positive if the
this
patient
is
reports pain aggravation
1.75.
at the tip of the styloid process. If version 1 does not elicit pain, gently apply an ulnar deviation force to the hand, which results in increased passive stretch across the first dorsal compartment. Again, this test is positive if the patient reports aggravated pain over the styloid process.
No, I really don't think... So cursed. But yeah, by the way, here's the tendons. We didn't get to talk about this because I didn't have like a wrist hand like a study stream, which I'm again so sorry about. This is the stream that's supposed to make that up, but there's different tunnels of your hand where muscles run through, and so this was the first tunnel, so that's where they're saying with this. So please excuse the super fast speed.
So it's called Finkelstein's test. Thumb goes across.
Yeah,
So
thumb goes
just
across.
gently, that's
They
it.
make
And
a
then you
fist.
just go that way. Go around.
Yeah, that's literally it. You put your thumb into your hand, and the therapist will like move it. Sorry, that's definitely my hands moving. And that's it. And if you have pain, that's it. It's over for you. The Aquarian syndrome. Bam. And I think it is safe to say I can end it right there. The reason being, again, is because I had this tutoring thing at 6:30, which means I have only like 15 minutes. So let's go find a raid target really quick, okay? Okay. Hi Zach, hi, welcome. Can you screenshot the pane indicate a positive result? You want to save it? Hold on. You have to forgive me, the thing is there. But since I said not to punch that way, are you not supposed to punch that way? I thought you should punch that way so you don't get boxer's fracture. I sent you the link to the screenshot. And I mean, I don't know anything about punching, to be honest. I will not be punching anyone anytime soon. If you punch that way, you break your thumb. Really? I didn't know that. Oh no. Well, glad I guess I know it now, huh? Thanks, Galmon. No problem. Alright. Let's see. But we can wait. Oh wait, in the meanwhile, while I find someone on the raid. Cubs, thank you for joining. I appreciate ya. Welcome. Thank you. There's a few new Cubs, so I appreciate ya. We have a Discord. It's the official Discord. I promise I'm not just studying. Sometimes I'm also doing Pomodoro, which is also just studying. But I game, and hopefully by next week I could game again. It would be super nice. Triple heck? What the actual hecky? The hecky heck? What the heck? Why the triple or quadruple? What the heck? No, seriously, what the actual heck comes? Oh my goodness. But sorry, I am trying to find someone to wait. Hold on. Heckity heck. I really, honestly, I keep forgetting the stickers. They're so cute. Summer Weasel, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Welcome to the Cup Club. Welcome. Alright. So yeah, sorry, Discord. Yeah. I promise a game. I really do. But this week has been really rough. The whole month's been rough. But don't let me get started on that. We'll be here for another hour. But it's all just school and like 3 exams or 2 exams minimum each week, and then somehow this week ended up being 4. So I'm like, I just want to stream, and I'm glad that I was even able to stream a little bit today. So thank you, every cup, for joining me. I truly do appreciate it from the bottom of my very heart. What else is really new and cool with the world? Brain fart. It comes on for the new ones who are joining. On Tuesdays and Wednesdays we do anime night, but I did want to tell the Cubs who are here that I am going to change anime night for this week because I am sweaty hecky out. Please forgive me. And we're gonna move it to just Wednesday alone. I think we might drop the vending machine anime. So if you're not familiar with that, it's an isekai that got how do you call it? Some guy got reincarnated as a vending machine, and people like him. Not that it's bad. And it's a very highly rated light novel, but I think I want to keep up with the new anime of Zom 100 because we still have yet to see the 2nd episode. We're still watching the 2nd season of Gundam, Witch from Mercury. We're on the 2nd season of that. And Jujutsu Kaisen season 2, because you know why the heck not? Yeah, Zach, I can send it to you. I'll also post this announcement again, so there will also be a list indirectly for you. So I got you. But I'll tag you twice if you need. So yeah, I'm probably gonna move this week's anime night to just Wednesday exclusively. And how the order is going to be is that we're going to be watching Zom 100, the 2 episodes of Gundam, which are Mercury, and then the last thing we'll watch for anime night is Jujutsu Kaisen, because I know a lot of people haven't watched the 2nd season, which is perfectly fine. Don't even worry. Don't sweat it, but I don't want them to stay up if they haven't seen it, you know? So yeah. Huh? Zom 100, there's also one where all my drops are S or something? Oh, that sounds cute. I have something really cursed to show you, Cubs, but I don't think it's appropriate. and I promise it's not like in my search history or something, but when I was going to XYZ social media, I got like an ad from Walmart recommending me the most degenerate isekai, and I'm like, let me see if I can get the name of it. I'm not going to show you the cover art. I was like, why did it recommend me this? I don't look at stuff like this. But then it recommended me like a what was it? At Walmart? Yeah, hold on. Let me make sure I don't like dox my tab. Hold on. Let me close this off really quick. The demi-human one? Yeah, do you know that one? Lisa, you know? Yes! To save the world, can you wake up the morning after with a demi-human is what I was recommended. But literally right beside it, I was recommended like furniture. So I was like, is this supposed to be catering? You saw that pic? I'm sorry. But I was so confused. And I was like, ah. Why does Walmart have this, first of all? Anyway, we're just gonna leave it be. Alright, Cubs. I have someone who we're gonna raid. To save the world? Oh, is it? Yeah, to save the world, can you wake up the morning after with a demi-human? I'm not showing the picture. You can have that in your Google search and have Walmart recommended to you, okay? But I'm not doing it. It's not bad. It's something. Hi, Bing. Hi. Welcome. Oh my goodness. Okay. Cubs, I do know who I want to raid, but I need you to help me out, okay? I'm like intimidated, but not really. I'm not intimidated. I'm just shy. So we can raid into someone who's doing art, but they're doing like art on a, oh my gosh, what is it called? Magma? Actually, no. I should be more courageous. Normally I do a poll to like see who we're gonna raid into and whatnot, but there's this one artist that I really have enjoyed so far, and I think the aesthetic of how they do their setup, even as a PNG tuber, is so neat, and how they do the interactive. And I've seen a billion other TikToks on my feed, and I think they're just such a creative individual. I think it's very rare for me to catch them streaming, so I might as well get a quick head start. Thanks, Walmart. Thank you, Walmart. You definitely know what my needs are. Anyway, sorry. So we talked about Discord, right? PNG tuber? They're so cool though. Like not that the PNG VTuber. I know there's a stigma, and listen. Just trust me on this one. Thanks for the stream set. Take care. Thank you. No shyness allowed. Only courage. I don't know. I get intimidated by like really cool people. You know what I mean? So what's the green arrow at the bottom of the screen? Oh, you know what that might be? That might just be my movement. Sorry! I'm sorry! Whoop, there you go. Da-da! 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 I really like the scene. I think it's very cool. I can actually move myself to the center now. And just look like an actual like dweeb. But wait, I never got to show you Cubs like the cool animations, but we'll do that later, you know? I'll be like, oh, look, I can probably do the gritty if I really wanted to, but I don't have time for that. There's no time for the gritty. And YouTubers are great. Let's go. Okay, we got approval weasels. Let's go. You have time? I don't have time. I have 8 minutes. I have 8 minutes. Okay, Cubs. So, Look, listen, let me say the Twitter spiel really quick. Twitter, I have my schedule pinned up, and I don't think I actually have it pinned up. I lied to you, Cubs, but I do normally have it pinned up. I have a new schedule out. Today was the day where I was like, I don't know if I'm going to stream or not. I really don't know. And guess what? I did it! Yay! So I'm very happy about that. The next time I'm streaming is Wednesday to prep for an exam I have at 7, so please catch me bright and early. I might stream tomorrow night. I don't know. I don't want to, but I probably should, just to get some studying out of the way. Maybe some of the remaining disorders we talked about. Maybe. What else is new? Cool. But yeah, that's the only time I'm streaming today, or this week. And then Saturday's my birthday, and I can't celebrate until next week because I have school this weekend. So kind of sucks, but it's okay. It truly is what it is on the second nerve, but we'll definitely make it up. But I don't even know what I want to do. I don't know if I should do like group games. I don't know if I should just karaoke. I don't know if I should just last minute invite friends and be like, hey, friends, let's do something wacky. But yeah, we'll figure it out. Maybe we'll just do a Cup Club Chooses birthday celebration. I think that would be like hilarious. But yeah. That's all next week though. I'll be gaming. So any of the cups who are like, oh, this girl just is a nerd and she just studies. It's like, yeah, that's what grad school does, yeah. But it truly is what it is. But you're no, I'm not cool. Thank you, Judah. I appreciate it. Pata says the fact that your arm doesn't even rest on your hand makes it even cooler, right? Look, I could do this, but then I actually have to physically move, and I'm just not doing that. We're not doing that. Caleb says the grade's gonna be on the exam tip. Oh shoot, let me break let me break the animations really quick. I don't have to... No, you hear my alarm? Where is it? Hold on. This is my alarm saying I have to leave. Okay. That's my alarm saying I have to get off. But yeah, it is definitely a celebration. I will not be celebrating as I have an exam on Saturday, which really stinks, but it truly is what it is. I can't find my animation thing. I was gonna joke around with you cubs, but I actually can't find it. I'm still so painfully new to this system that you think I would have knew. Oh, I found it. Hold on. Hopefully I don't do anything wacky. Oh gosh. You could just randomly dance. I could just break down a move because they just have random dance presets. And listen, I just don't do great dancing, so I'm just going to do that and call it a day, okay? I go stay as this cat and stay here until we are done and we are raiding someone. There are a lot of cute motions that you can do, which are super cute, but I just don't know. It's something definitely to play around later, so I will just keep this waving hand emoji. Or wave hands? Wow! I could wave my arm? Wow! I could walk just like the starting soon screen? Wow! It's very cool technology, but let's just keep it there. Yeah, I think the cat emote's so cute. Anyway, sorry. Anyway. Bearcat fighting pose? Brother, there were so many moves happening. I don't think my body could have kept up. I was throwing it. And yes, the time really does fly, but it's okay. I'll try. We'll figure it out. Cub Club chooses birthday. Anyway, Cub, we have someone who we want to raid. They are doing art right now. Apparently they're designing stickers, so I think that's super neat. I think they're a total vibe, and I think you're really going to enjoy them. I think they're super cool. I really like the content they have been putting out. So with that as well, let's get our raid message. So if you're not subscribed, absolutely no hecking worries. Please feel free to participate with the Gao Gao raid with the berry emojis. And if you are subscribed, feel free to use the Tipanya with the Gao Gao raid, okay? Okay, Evercup. It was nice seeing you. Love life. Take care. Enjoy life. I'll probably mess around with this later. I have I don't know if you saw my Twitter post, but basically I did like a preview of how I want to do the Pomodoro stream, so you're probably gonna see this program again. So please look forward to it. Hopefully I catch you cubs on Wednesday for anime night, which again I will make an announcement and ping in just a little bit about those changes about anime night not happening Tuesday, so you cubs, especially in EU, can rest easy. Easy. But with that, I go. Bye. Lots of love, cubs. We're gonna be reading into Taijiro, who is super cool. Oh no, are they BRB right now? Oh, okay, thank goodness. I'm like, please don't BRB. I just want to raid into you. I just want to raid. Alright, I'll catch you cubs on Wednesday, okay? If I don't get to see you Wednesday, please have a good week. Have a good week. Enjoy your day, enjoy your week, enjoy your weekend. I'll catch you next time. Lots of love, okay? Bye. Bye bye. Bye 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 bye.